Hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the weekly report. Justice for J6 rally, a setup or a psyop? A few dozen protesters showed up to last weekend's Justice for J6 rally in Washington, D.C. But that did not stop the authoritarian Washington Beltway establishment from spending millions to again turn the area into a fortress, complete with a militarized Capitol Hill police force and an army of undercover FBI agents. The protesters were easily outnumbered by reporters desperate for another insurrection story and by police officers who looked like they were ready for military combat. Of the reported 4 people arrested at the event, one turned out to be an undercover FBI agent who was then escorted to safety by police officers after showing his badge. As conservative commentator Denise D'Souza tweeted, the comedy of the event was that there were so many undercover cops they were arresting each other by accident. Earlier, former President Trump warned that the rally was a setup by an FBI, Homeland Security Department, and Capitol Hill Police Department eager for more trophies in their war against insurrections. He advised people to avoid the event, and it appears his advice was taken. They did not get their second insurrection. In fact, as we know from the FBI itself, he did not get their first insurrection. Though the left elites continue to use that term, the FBI affirmed last month that there was no organized plan among the January 6th protesters to overturn the presidential election. The media's nonstop hysterical reporting about the January 6th insurrection, repeated endlessly by Democratic Party politicians, did serve an important propaganda purpose. Anyone with concerns about the way the 2020 presidential election was conducted was immediately demonized and silenced. But to me, it seems a little too obvious that Biden backers and their allies in the deep state would hold a fake rally just to set up more insurrectionists to be arrested. It's possible that they believe conservatives and Trump supporters are dumb enough to walk into a trap, or perhaps another trap, but I find it unnerving. Instead, perhaps this rally was in a reality kind of a psychological operation. After all, such an exercise would be a win-win for the planners. On one hand, if a massive crowd showed up, it would give a new life to the now discredited narrative that an attack on our democracy, more serious than 9/11, as President Biden laughingly claimed, was operating just below the surface of the society. Authoritarians must be able to point to the enemy to consolidate their power. On the other hand, if one showed up, as it turns out happened, the real organizers could laugh and crow about how support has evaporated for the hundreds originally arrested after January 6th and tragically still hold them without bail and none charged with insurrection. And also, they can claim that support for Donald Trump, who for some reason continues to mortally terrify them, has likewise disappeared. Maybe that's just a crazy conspiracy theory, but then again, anyone claiming just a few weeks ago that Biden would implement a vaccine mandate was also considered a crazy conspiracy theorist. Whatever the case, this failed rally is a great success for Team Biden on one front. Who would now dare to hold an actual peaceful rally calling attention to the shocking injustice that continues to strain the prosecution of so many January 6th protesters? But we must not let enemies of justice win. All liberty lovers must speak out for the unfairly prosecuted. Even when it's politically risky, we must not be silent. Thanks for listening.